Hello from Japan.
Hello
Hello
from
from Japan.
hello from Italy. Um, yeah, Rosa. So maybe let's begin with MEXT scholarship first. Like because when students
All right.
who apply for MEXT scholarship, they feel overwhelmed with
And
a lot of
complicated also,
yeah,
yeah.
that very complicated documents, requirements, and and that's why I think that like it's better to ask from you, the one very experienced about it. So like when you apply for MEXT scholarship, how did you begin it? Did you contact the
Okay.
professor first, or did you apply for university first? And how did you go through it?
Okay. Thank you so much, Hatrang, for the I think, very important questions. So, my journey to get the Max scholarship may be quite different from other people.
Mhm.
And then let me just explain. It's like a brief story how I can apply the Max scholarship. So maybe, as you know, that we studied in Yamagata University, right? And actually, Yamagata University has a, how can I say, like, cooperation with my university in Indonesia before when I studied my bachelor degree. So my university's name is Gajah Mada University in Yogyakarta, Indonesia. So I was graduated from Faculty of Agriculture of Gajah Mada University, and then Faculty of Agriculture of Gajah Mada University has a cooperation with Yamagata University.
Mhm.
It means that my university and Yamagata University has the MOU, or the agreement between these two universities.
Okay.
And I started, before I applied the MEXT scholarship, I joined the program between Faculty of Agriculture in my university in Indonesia and Yamagata University. And what is the program? So the program is to learn the Japanese language,
Mm.
and it was for free. So every summer holiday or the spring holiday, some students from Yamagata University will come to my faculty to teach Japanese language for
Oh,
free.
okay.
Okay. And then also there was two professors also from Yamagata University that working in the at that time they worked in the international relationship. And then those two professors also came to my faculty and teach, and they taught us the Japanese language also for free. So I studied the basic Japanese language during that program. And then in 2014, they offered me to join the short-term exchange program, like program exchange, something like that, exchange student, something like that. And then I went to Yamagata for 10 days in 2014.
Okay.
During those 10 days, um, there are like exchange presentation, exchange culture about Yamagata University, about my university. And at that time, I was curious about agriculture in Japan. And then there are some students also present about agriculture in Japan, and then how the possibility to study the continue master course or study in Yamagata University, and
Mhm.
how to study there. So after I returned to Indonesia, I was thinking like, wow, it would be nice if I can study or continue my master course to Japan. And then in 2016, before that, 2015, I graduated. And at the time, the professor that always taught us the Japanese came to my faculty. And then he asked me like, what will you do after the graduation? And then I at that time I confused, like I'm still not sure. Maybe I will just searching for the job, and then yeah, let's see if I can get the job. And then suddenly he said to me, why don't you continue to pursue your master degree in Japan? And I
Wow.
said to him like, oh sensei, but I don't have any money. I said like, because my family is came from the not rich family, so it's just like normal one. And then if I continue my master degree, my family cannot afford to pay the, the entrance fee and so on. And then living costs in Japan also very expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And then he said to me, it's okay. I will ask the professor in Yamagata University, how can you study or continue the master course in Japan? And then what are the requirements to
Mm-hmm.
study there?
Yeah.
And he sent the email to all of the professor in Yamagata University, especially in agriculture faculty, that related to my major. So my major is agricultural economics.
Mm-hmm.
And there is one professor at the time that willing to be my supervisor. And then he informed me, and I was surprised, like, sensei, it's very fast. It's just like
Yeah.
took
It's so
1 week
simple, so
to
easy.
get that information. So I was like, yes, sensei, it's very fast, I said. And then he said, it's okay, just contact him by email. So after that, the one who willing to be my supervisor contact my Japanese sensei. So my Japanese sensei asked me to contact him directly by email and then send him like a motivation letter or like the reason why you want to continue study in Japan.
Mm.
And then at the time I sent like introduction email, and then I sent my motivation letter. And he was very friendly at that time. And then he also supported me, encouraged me to apply MEXT scholarship. That is the first time I know about MEXT scholarship. So
Okay.
it was in 2015 in around June. So when my sensei during my master course at the time, uh, asked me to prepare the documents to apply the MEXT scholarship, I started to prepare it for about 6 months,
Okay.
around six
Yeah.
months.
That
So
that
I
was.
have to prepare like the English, yeah, like the English TOEFL test, and then like the Japanese test. But actually, the Japanese language test is not the obligation to
Oh.
submit. The obligation to submit is the English one.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Because recently one of my students asked me about that. It's like if she see the requirement require Japanese language, and she was confused. So it's not that requirement, as how you said.
Yes,
Mm.
actually, the Japanese language is not the requirement. It's just, of course, in the form
Yeah.
that he sent to me,
Mm.
there is the score, like how much the score for the your Japanese ability, the
So
skill
like
for
they
the
just
Japanese
want to
ability.
know.
But that score,
They just
yes,
want to know the score.
they
Yeah.
just want to know the skill,
The
the
level.
level.
Yeah.
Now you can you speak. Yeah, can you speak for the daily conversation or not?
Mm.
Only like that. So not the
Okay.
formal test like when we did
Okay.
the TOEFL, ITP, or IELTS, something like that. No.
Okay. That's a relief to know.
So yeah, I prepare several documents, including that, and then I didn't take any Japanese test, so I just submit my English test. And at that time, my English TOEFL test is quite low. It's less than 500 for the TOEFL.
Yeah. Yeah.
But usually for the MEXT scholarship, if we want to apply it, so there are two types of the MEXT scholarship: MEXT scholarship by university to university, and MEXT scholarship by the government to government. So
Mm.
if we apply the MEXT for the from the government to government types, Usually, the English score level is about 550 around.
Okay. And what for university to university?
So for university to university at that time, for me, in my case, there is no
Restriction.
how can I say, the how much the score that I have to achieve. Yes, there is no
Okay.
limitation. So at
Okay.
the time, actually I took the test twice, and then my score is below the 500 level, and
Okay.
still, my sensei received that,
Mm-hmm.
accept that,
Yeah.
and also my Japanese sensei said to me that, oh, how can I say, like, just check yourself, like, can you speak the Japanese basic language level, something like that. And then, yeah, I just wrote in the form, like, I can speak the Japanese daily conversation, but the basic one,
Okay.
like that. And
Okay.
then they still accept it.
Okay. That's cool. Okay. So I have a question, the following follow-up question here. Like, how did you do with the application for university? Because like on the website, it's always applying through the embassy, right?
Okay,
So that's it for
so
the government
yeah.
application. But for the university application, how can we do that? Because last time one of my students, she already contacted the professor in Japan, Tohoku University, and he
Mhm.
very enthusiastic about that, and he told her, whenever you apply for Max, let me know. He said that, and then she applied through the embassy. So I don't know if that will like do anything. We have something to do with him or not, with the professor in Tohoku University or not. I'm not sure. And it feels to me like it's not the right procedure. So can you explain more about the university application?
Okay, so for the university application, actually, first, maybe it's better to talk about the requirements, like the documents. So
Mm,
actually, in each university, they have a different requirement for the documents.
yeah.
So the documents in each university is not all the same. So I
Mm,
want to say that not all the same.
okay.
So for example, in my case, in Yamagata University, when I applied it, they asked me of course, English to
Mm,
full score, and to fill out the form, and
mm,
then to prepare the research plan, like what will you do during what kind of research that you want to do during the 2 years, become a master course students. And after that, some of my official certificate from bachelor degree, like they want to see the transcript and so on. And then, actually, the details information we can get it from embassy. So
mm,
I think what they mean by the embassy is, in each embassy, in Japanese embassy, there is a want information about the MEXT scholarship. So
mm,
if you want to see it in more detail, you can go to the embassy website,
mm,
and then from there, just search for the MEXT scholarship U2U or MEXT scholarship G2G and so on.
okay.
And then after after you check it in more detail, you can prepare all the documents based on that website, also embassy website.
Mm,
And after that, when all of the requirements have been completed, then this is the case for the Max U to you. Just send all documents to the supervisor,
mm,
to the one that will become our supervisor in
yep,
Japan.
yep.
And then the supervisor will submit it to the university.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
And
so the
then
professor submit.
university.
Okay.
Yeah. So the professor will submit the documents to the university, and then after university president accept it,
Mm.
and then it will be submitted to the Japanese government.
Okay, cool. Okay, so let me summarize about it. So like you will go to the
Mm-hmm.
university website, you will check on the documents that requirement there.
Mm-hmm.
No, actually, you will need to contact the professor first and get him accepted.
Yes,
His acceptance
yes,
will guide you through your study. And then you will go to
yes,
the university website, you check all the documents that required for the scholarship, and then you
yes,
prepare all the documents. And there's also another way that you go to the embassy website, you go to you
yes,
section, and then you check if
yes,
all the documents enough there. Yeah, so either you check from the
yeah,
university website or you check from the embassy website in the section
embassy
of,
website.
yes, you. And then once you prepare enough all the documents, you send it to your professor, and then the professor will submit to university. You don't submit it by yourself. And then university will submit to the government, and then bam, you get it. That's just so smooth and
Yes,
easy.
and then you will get the result.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but actually it's very difficult. The
Yeah,
process is so long for me. I have to wait like 10 months, about 10 months to prepare all the documents
that
and
actually
until
that
the result came out.
yeah, but that's the average time for preparing the scholarship document. That's the average time.
Yeah.
And like you said that you talk to the professor in Indonesia, then the professor in Indonesia talk to the professors in Japan, and that's how things work usually. That called the power of
Yeah.
networking. And usually
Yes.
when we afraid to talk to people who are more experienced than us, means the professor, we lose a very huge opportunity. That's it, the networking. And that make our life more complicated when we do things by ourselves. It's so hard to get everything by ourselves. But once we talk to people who are more experienced, we get help from them, everything get easier and smoother, and the chance for you to get that opportunity also higher. So that's why I always encourage my students and everyone,
Exactly.
yeah, to build up network, or like to access to your network, not build up, but to access to your network. Ask people who like study abroad or working abroad or have any experience abroad to find you, to help you to access to your network. And that's how people get a job or any opportunity to study abroad. And yeah, that's awesome, very good experience. And like during the application, which document is the most difficult for you? Not the most difficult, but like the most
Actually,
important, the most important to prepare.
the most important to prepare is the research plan.
The research plan. Okay.
Yeah, because the research plan, I think maybe for people like the language skill is the most important, but as for my process when I applying it, I found out that the most difficult and the most important is how can you make the beautiful research plan
Mm,
that it is also can be implemented in the real life. And
mm,
then yeah, I think that to make that to make the research plan can make sense in our daily activity is very difficult, because I think the the not the Japanese professor, but maybe the one who will check your who will do this reading the
mm,
research plan will determine whether you can pursue or you can become the master course student or not. And then
oh,
during the these 2 years, whether you can do that research on time or in time, something
mm,
like that. So I think at the time, yeah, uh, I was like very careful to make the research plan. And of course, to make the research plan, usually I consult with my sensei
mm,
before I submitted it. So there will be some correction from our sensei at the time.
mm. Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask. Like this, like you need to talk to your sensei, discuss with your sensei. Okay, here maybe if the audience don't know, sensei mean professor in Japan. Yeah, and like you need
Yes,
to,
sorry, in Japanese it is professor.
yeah, you need to talk to your professor and discuss with him about everything. Like it's not that you do everything by yourself. That would be so boring and it's not professional. Yeah, so like your proposal, your research plan, everything just like you do it, you send to him to get his feedback, right? And then you improve it and send it
Yes,
back to him to check. And if he approve, then submit. If not, then continue to correct. But that's the teamwork. That the work of you and your professor is not only your work. So, but I know that many students
yes,
often hesitate to talk to professor, but that wouldn't help. You need to talk to them and let them involve in your research.
we must to talk. Yeah, we must to have a discussion. Otherwise, I mean, we cannot work alone. We have to
Yeah,
working with other people. That's how society works.
yeah. Okay, that's very helpful. And how much did you get for Max scholarship?
So at that time, actually, I came to Japan in 2016 on in October. So October, November, December, January, February, March. For 6 months, I become the research students.
Mm,
During my research students' life, I got a MEXT scholarship around 143,000 yen per month.
143,000 per month. Okay.
Per month. And then when I continue my master course, I receive the scholarship per month about 144,000 yen. And after that, for my
1,000 extra.
PhD, yes, PhD also 1,000 extra. So about 146,000 yen.
That's so big level. Okay. Okay, but I'm a bit confused
Yeah.
here. So I'm surprised that you get max scholarship for short-term research, for master's degree, and then for PhD degree. I thought like in Japan, once you get scholarship, you can only get for like 2 years maximum, or for one degree, not like the whole study like that. So you can get for the whole study from short-term research to master's degree to PhD degree.
Yeah, actually, yes. So actually, when I apply for the MEXT scholarship, in my case, um, for the research students, it depends on the professor. Like you can study first at the research student, or you can directly to become a master course student. So
Mm.
that one is the professor's decision.
Mm.
And at that time, my professor decided that I have, because I have no experience to study in the laboratory.
Mm.
So at the time, my professor decided to me like studying as a research student first to adapt for the laboratory activities and to improve my Japanese language skill and so on. And during that 6 months, yeah, I studied a lot how to study in the laboratory and so on. Because in my country, in Indonesia, there
Mm.
is no laboratory activities like
Yeah,
in Japan.
yeah,
So that's actually for me is like academic shock maybe.
yeah. Actually, that's very
So,
interesting. Like they
yeah.
are very well prepared for that. Like the professor recognized that you lack the experience in laboratory, and then he provide that for you. He provides 6 months, and you can get scholarship for that,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, because like in other countries, okay, maybe if you didn't have the experience, then you learn it during your master's degree, and that make the master's degree maybe like in more challenging. But in this case, you extend the time to learn about the laboratory experience, and then you get money to study it. And then after finish master's degree, you continue to apply for MEXT scholarship to study PhD.
Yes, correct. So after I graduated from master course, and then I actually applied 5 scholarships. Four
Mm.
scholarships is from the Japanese Foundation scholarship, and one scholarship is, of course, MEXT scholarship. So yeah, because my sensei said like maybe there is no guarantee at the time I
Mhm.
could receive the MEXT scholarship or not because there is another competitor,
Yeah.
and usually, one university will receive 1 or 2 candidates for the MEXT scholarship.
Mhm.
So at that time, there are like 3 candidates, and then after that, I have to apply another scholarship. But luckily, I got the scholarship from MEXT scholarship, so I continue my PhD using MEXT scholarship at that time.
Okay, that's so cool. Okay, that's a good
So maybe
information.
for five 5.5 years in
Mhm.
total, I received the MEXT scholarship.
That's really abundantly lucky.
So I am,
Yeah,
yeah, I am so grateful. At that time, I was so lucky.
yeah. But that's really, I believe that like a, how to say, because I observe you, I see you through life, and I know that
Yes,
you full of like what's the word, huh? But you seem very positive, and you always grateful in life. You're grateful for everything that you receive in life, and
yes.
maybe that's how you continue to receive things, everything that like every opportunity that come to you, thing like that.
Thank,
Yeah, and I think it's
thank
very
you for
beautiful.
saying that, Hannah.
Yeah, it's a very beautiful trace in you.
Thank you.
Okay, and can you
Thank you
say
so
like
much.
how much did you spend a month in Japan when you were a student?
All right, for all of the living costs in because we are living, I mean we, it's you also live at the time in Soroka. So because I living at that time I was living in Soroka city in the countryside. So you also know about the Soroka city.
Yeah,
It's quite cheaper
yeah,
compared with the big city like Tokyo, Sendai, or Osaka. So
yeah.
for me, 1 month I spent about 80,000, around 80,000 yen for living in
80,000 yen.
Soroka. That includes the apartment. Yes, apartment cost and the electricity, water, gas, and also the foods and yeah, lifestyle, like to go hang
Okay.
out with
Yeah.
friends and so on.
So like
And
you receive
I can
140,
so
you receive
yeah,
140,000 and
100.
then you spend 80,000, so you save 60,000 per month. Yeah,
Yes.
that's so good.
So maybe yeah, and then part of it I also send my money to my family in Indonesia, and then part of it I use for traveling and also for saving.
Yeah, oh, that's so beautiful. And how much did you spend for accommodation that time?
At that time, accommodation, you mean by the
The rent?
transportation?
No, the rent.
The rent for,
Yeah.
okay. So for the rental apartment in Soroka, at the time I was paying about, for master course student, I was paying about 25,000 yen per month.
For the dormitory, right?
No, 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 for the old apartment.
Is it? So like the apartment was 25,000. That's quite very cheap. That's quite cheap.
Yes,
25,000 is
that
really cheap.
one. Yes, that one. When I was in my master course student, it's like 2.5 year. I was paying 25,000 yen, and then when I was studying in my PhD,
Mhm.
I moved to the new apartment, which is close. I think closer to the university. It was take about 32,000 yen per month.
Okay. So like the scholarship increase 1,000 and then your apartment upgrade to from 25,000 to 32,000. How much is it? 7,000 upgrade. But it's
So
bigger
I
apartment, I guess.
upgrade my apartment.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah,
bigger
yeah, yeah.
apartment.
Closer. Yes, closer to the university is quite bigger than the 25,000 apartment.
Yeah, yeah. So like, is it kind of studio apartment or like a one bedroom apartment?
Actually, for the 32,000 yen apartment is was include one bed, one bedroom, and
Mm,
then one bathroom and one toilet and one kitchen
one.
for the 32,000 yen.
Mm. So for the 32,000 yen, you have one bedroom, one bathroom, kitchen, toilet. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, that's very nice.
Okay.
Oh, I love it.
Yes. For the Thank you. For the 25,000 yen, it's only one bathroom and toilet is combined together. So
Okay,
one bathroom, one bedroom, and just a little bit like a kitchen in the same room
okay.
with
So it's
the
kind of
with
studio
bedroom.
apartment. Yeah. Okay, let me
Ah,
check
yes,
how
yes,
much
yes.
euro.
Looks like the studio.
Yeah, because I want to make sense in euro. I know the value that time, but I don't know how is it in euro. 25,000 euro. So, okay, to anyone who are listening, 25,000 yen mean 153.54 euro here, and 32,000 yen is 197 euro. Man, it's just so cheap. It's so cheap to compare here.
Yes, right.
Okay,
Yes.
here
If we
my
compare with euro, okay, I'm done.
yeah, here
Yeah,
my
yeah, yeah.
apartment I'm renting is 500 euro. So
500 euro in yen. Wait a minute. 500 euro. Oh my goodness, it was so expensive,
how much
Hatra.
in yen? How much in Japanese yen?
It's like 82,000 yen around.
Yeah, so it's almost the price in
Wow.
Tokyo, right? For renting in Tokyo.
That that is the 1 month's living cost in
Yeah, that's true.
Suroka.
That's true. 1 month living cost. And it's amazing. When I was in Japan, I was living in the university house. That one was even much
Yeah.
cheaper. It was only 2,500 per month.
Cheaper. Yeah, so at the time I envy you. Okay, so there is the rules. So this is just additional information. So if the students receive the scholarship,
Mm,
usually in Japan, the university will ask the students to stay in the apartment.
mm.
So dormitory or the university share house is not possible for the scholarship
Okay,
students.
that's
That's the
fair.
rule, I
Yeah,
think.
I think that's a beauty fair.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah, I think so too. So that's quite fair.
yeah. That, okay, that's
But you
cool.
know,
That's very helpful.
university has scholarship.
Sorry, please talk because yeah, the internet connection is a nightmare, so we always mismatch. But please talk. What did you say?
Yeah, so at that time I was so envy with you because the university house is very cheap. So I was
Um,
surprised, like, oh my God, Hatra is so cheap.
yeah, and then very big
But
also.
yeah, but it's yeah, so big. And then yeah, we did yoga in your
Yeah,
house.
the yoga and party. Oh my God. Okay, so
Yes.
now let's move on with your study. Your study in Japan. Like, what did you study that time?
At that time, I was studying actually, I studying at the Farm Business Management Laboratory for my master course. And for my PhD, I was studying at the Agricultural Economics Laboratory. But my research was about the farm succession, like how the farming can survive in these days, like, I think agriculture or rice farming is quite a problem in every countries in the world, including in Japan. So nowadays, not so much young people wants to become a farmer, and also including in Indonesia. Indonesia also face this problem,
That's
the
right.
aging farmers and then the decreasing of young farmers. So I did some research, but my main research was in Indonesia, how the Indonesian rice farming will survive during this, because during these days they face this kind of problems and how to solve these problems. And for example, the aging farmers, do they accept the using agriculture machinery? Because in Japan, the agriculture machinery is become very trend right
Mm.
now.
Yeah.
So rice farming activities, vegetables activities, or everything using the AI, robots, smart farming, and so
Yeah.
on. So now Indonesia also try to adapt
Mm.
that kind of technology.
Yeah.
So yeah, I studying about that farm succession problem.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, I think that's really a big problems in many countries, from developing countries to developed countries. Like young people only want to work
Yeah.
in the city, in service sector. Yeah, yeah, who want to work in the farm? So hard work and
Yeah, because the income in the farm also minus,
mm,
compare if we working in the company.
yeah,
So that also the problem is how
mm,
to increase the income and so on.
yeah. And so did the study aim to increase the labor work or to increase the machinery work? What was the aim of your study?
My aim of study is to see how the structural changes from the labor to the machinery, and
Mm,
then how to increase the income from farming activity. So
mm,
because in developing countries, actually the farmland size is quite so small
mm,
compared to the developed country.
yep.
So how these small farmers can expand their farmland,
Mm,
and then learning from Japan, in order to expand the farmland, the Japanese government, local government, and the farmers, they work together to establish the community farming.
mm,
So now my concern is how Indonesian government, local government, and the farmers and the extension workers also work together to establish this kind of the organization or community farming that
mm,
almost have a similar system with the Japanese community farming, so that Indonesian farmers also can expand their farm size in order to increase their income. Thank you
yeah.
so much, Hadra.
Wish you all the
I'm so
best for
happy
your
to hear
marriage.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Rosa, I think like I've been asking you a lot of questions from the scholarship to your study to your work in today talking, today chat.
Yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy to share it with you.
And I hope that, like the audience, anyone who is listening will be benefits from the information you provide, especially people who are looking to apply for scholarship to study in Japan.
Yes.
Yeah, they will benefit with the information you provide. And even myself, because I'm guiding some students who to apply for scholarship. So like that is a very good information for me. And thank you so much and wish you the best and can't wait to meet you here in
Yeah,
Italy
thank
and
you so
our
much,
trip to
Hadra.
Germany together. Oh my God, yay!